I just realized I was recording and there's lipstick on my nose. And you guys didn't tell me? What's up with that? Hey everyone, and welcome to YarnGasm. I'm Kristen, and this is episode 195. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. And if you are a new viewer, thank you so much for checking out my podcast. This is a podcast, as always, about knitting, spinning, hand-dyeing yarn, sewing, and making all the things in Brooklyn, New York, where I'm from and I live. So before I get into what I've been making this week, I'm just gonna let you guys in on a couple of announcements that I have. Obviously, next week I will not be podcasting, only because Dennis and I will be going away on vacation. We're going to Barbados, which I am very excited about. It's been quite a while since we've taken a relaxing trip, so I cannot wait to just finally be on a beach. Another announcement that I have is the 200th episode is coming up. I'm not sure what date specifically that will fall on, but whenever I record that episode, it'll be the 200th episode. And I have a couple giveaways planned. So I will create a thread in the YarnGasm Ravelry group, which if you have not joined, you should totally join. Lots of awesome stuff happening in there, conversation, and the best way to participate in these, or the only way to participate in these knit-alongs and giveaways that we have on the podcast. Some of the giveaway prizes that we have up for grabs for the 200th episode is one skein of Voolenvine yarns, my hand-dyed yarns, of a colorway of your choice on my Volca base, which is a lovely merino nylon cashmere blend, and a pattern collection called Beyond Vanilla Socks by Mina Phillip, who is the lovely and amazing host of the Knitting Expat podcast. So very generous, Mina. Thank you so much for offering that up as a giveaway prize. So yes, I will be giving those away for the 200th episode, and all you have to do is answer one or all of the following questions. What do you hope to see more of on the podcast, or what is your favorite YarnGasm moment? So, yay! Cannot wait to hear what you guys have to say. And I just want to say, well, before I get into that, in conjunction with the 200th episode, it's not going to happen at the same time, but close enough. We are coming upon the 6th podiversary of the podcast, which is crazy, you guys. It blows my mind that I've been podcasting for 6 years, and yeah, so something special is going to happen for that too. I don't have any plans yet, but I believe June 28th is the official podiversary of YarnGasm. So I will hopefully plan something very special for that. I can't say what, but I will brainstorm and think up something really fun. But if you're watching this, if you've been watching for a while, I just want to say thank you so much for sticking with me, especially those who, left PM'd me on Ravelry or emailed me or in the forums, let me know that you've been with me since I first started podcasting when it was audio. It was not, my very early podcasts are not something I enjoy writing home about. I know I've come a long way when it comes to just being myself on camera. So, but I just want to say thank you so much to everybody. Just, even if you're a new viewer, thank you for checking out my podcast. Thank you for sticking with me. It really means so much. And you're the reason that I come back every week, or most weeks. And, it's just, I do it for fun, and yeah. So thank you. And if you have been watching for a while, you might notice something a little different with the video. As a little birthday gift to my podcast, I decided to up the ante, as I try to do every year. Last year it was the microphone. This year I decided to just upgrade the camera altogether. In the past I've been mainly recording on my iPhone. It did the job. It's wonderful. There's nothing wrong with it. I love the fact that I could just prop it up and go wherever I am, but at the same time, there was never enough memory on my phone to hold an entire podcast. I would always have to unload the footage to my computer and then delete it. So I treated my podcast and myself to a new camera, which I did a little research on, and I decided to upgrade it to the Canon G7X, which, you guys, I am in love with this thing. I'm not only going to use it for the podcast, but I'm also going to be using it for, just when Dennis and I go on trips. Recently, we've only been taking photos with our iPhone, which is fine. It takes great photos, but this thing is very compact enough, for me to just pop in my purse and pull out whenever I'm so inclined to. And the cool thing about it is it has like a flip screen that pops up so I can see, what I'm showing you guys on camera. And yeah, so far I think the quality is good. Let me know what you think. I'm very excited about it. So yay, awesome. So okay, that's enough babble for the intro. I think that is pretty much all that I have to announce, like any news updates and what have you. So I'm going to dive into, I'm trying to think. Well, as you know, this week I have pretty much taken off. It's been my Makecation, as I like to call it. I'm not working at all this week. Dennis and I are leaving on Friday, so I decided to take the rest of the week off just to relax, make things, knit, sew, and just craft my heart out. So it's been really fun so far. I took mainly like Monday and Tuesday I worked a little bit, but Tuesday afternoon it was on. My vacation was on. So I've got a lot done and I have a lot to share with you this week. So cannot wait to show you guys. So this week I have a hoe again. And this is one sock of my yarn that I purchased in Italy from Leila Bella in Venice, Italy. And this, I actually found the tag this time, you guys. So happy about that. But yeah, let me see. It's by Cessia Mistral Baby in their 262 colorway. As always, creative names. But here it is. And you can see it kind of jogs a little bit because that's probably where the stripes shift, but on this side you can see. Yeah, I just love the way that these striped up, and just a basic cuff down, 1x1 rib, and fish lips kiss heel, obviously, and just a grafted toe, and I love these. And I have to say, there's something about this yarn that is just so yummy, and I've never knit with this until now, and it feels like the lanolin is still in here, and the yarn is 100% virgin wool, which pretty much explains why it feels very lanolin-y. And it's just really, really lovely yarn to work with. And if you can get your mitts on a skein or two of these, probably if you're knitting socks, you need about 2 skeins. As I mentioned last week, these socks were some socks that I cast on with the intention of knitting 2 at a time. Did not like the process at all. I found it very fiddly, time consuming. Maybe I just have to knit a couple of 2 pairs of socks at a time to get the gist of it or the flow of it, but it was just very fiddly and I wasn't enjoying it. So I separated the pair and decided to knit one, and then now here's the other one where I'm at, or where I left off with the other one. So now it's a matter of me just picking up where all the stitches and knitting on that. So yay, these will be done pretty soon. Maybe I'm probably going to take these on vacation with me, but I actually cast on a pair of socks. I haven't decided what kind of socks they're going to be. I'm debating whether I want to do a pattern with them. I'll show you in a second, but I haven't decided if they're going to be vanilla or a pattern. I just wanted to cast them on, but so I guess we're just going to move along into what's on my needle, since I'm talking about something that I just cast on. Sorry for getting off camera a little bit, but let me see, where is it? Okay, and this skein is the 3rd installment of my Gory Details Yarn Club, which, by the way, I thank you to everybody who subscribed. I hope you guys genuinely loved the club. I had a lot of fun dyeing up the yarn, and yeah, all your orders have shipped out, so you should be getting them soon. But I am going to show you the colorway for the 3rd installment. So if you do not want the surprise to be spoiled, look away. I won't even mention what the name is, but just look away. 1, 2, 3. All right, I'm going to show it. So here it is. And not to toot my own horn, but I am in love with this colorway. I'm trying to get the camera not to look at my face. There we go. But yeah, and the camera is totally doing the colorway justice. So I had to cast it on immediately. I was just so curious to see how it knit up, and I have a knitting needle in it, but I love the way it's turning out. And I have a 1x1 rib going for a sock. Let me see, there we go. And I love the little tiny, I'm not even going to say the colors, but I just love the little flecks that are popping up in there. Little contrasting flecks. And these are on my US 1.5 US 1.5 2.5 millimeter Cubics Knitter's Pride needles, and yeah, they're wood, so you can probably guess I'm going to take these on vacation with me as well because they're wood and the metal detectors at the airport won't go crazy when I go through security. But okay, you can look now because I'm not going to show it again. But anyway, that's one thing that I cast on. Very happy with it, and yeah, so I hope you guys, if you are eagerly awaiting that third skein, I hope you're surprised and you love the color. But anyway, I have been getting questions about another yarn club, and yes, I do plan on doing another yarn club, which I probably won't announce until I get back from vacation. I'm just still playing with a couple of ideas in my head. So stay tuned. Okay, next on the needles, I have, and this is another one that only one person has to look away if you're watching, and I don't think she's watching because she has not been, so to speak, watching, she hasn't had the time to like catch up on podcasts lately. So, but Maria from Subway Knits, if you are watching, look away. Look away because I'm showing your baby shower gift. Because I'm about to show your gift for your baby shower. And yeah, Maria is expecting. She's due in September, but she's having a baby shower, I think 3 weeks after I get back. So in June, and I am working on a little cardigan for her her baby. It's a boy. So Maria, look away right now. I'm just gonna say it again, unless you really don't want to be surprised. You guys, there are so many cute, adorable baby patterns on Ravelry, but one really stood out to me, and that was the little jacket by Florence Merlin. And it's just a cute, it's part of a set actually. So it comes with a hat and some booties and a cardigan, and it was just really cute, and I figured there was enough detail going on. She's having a boy, so yeah, I wanted it to have a little interest to it, but not too frilly or anything, and this was perfect in my opinion. And this is a little, as I mentioned, a little jacket, and I cast on, this is where I am so far. You can see that. But yeah, this is the cast on edge, which is just some garter, and then it has this really cool like textured stripe. And this happens later on in the pattern too, around the yoke. And I really, really, really love the way this is knitting up. And the yarn is Madeline Tosh Merino Light in their Modern Fair Isle colorway and Graphite for the stripe. And I think this is like the perfect, it's very gender neutral, I think, which Maria is very much all about. And I don't know, I just hope she likes it. I really hope she likes it, but I'm having so much fun knitting it. Of course, you know, it's going to take me a little while. Of course, I decided to go with fingering weight yarn. Go figure. But yeah, it was funny because like yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. I was knitting on this and catching up on Once Upon a Corgi, hosted by Gabby, and I was knitting on it, and then Gabby shows off some yarn that she purchased from her yarn shop, and she goes, I got this one colorway from Madeline Tosh, and you know, she fell in love with it and ended up buying the same skein of Modern Fair Isle. So I had to text her, I'm like, I have the same one, I'm knitting on it right now. So that was really funny. It is a really beautiful colorway if you ever have the chance to knit with it. I really like it. And there's even, again, orange. There's orange in here. Can you see that? It's working its way into my life. I don't know what's going on. Normally I am so not an orange person. I don't know. Well, then again, I'm not the one wearing it, but anyway, I'm working with it a lot apparently. But anyway, I think that's really funny. And these are on US size 3. Yeah, US size. These are knit picks. The only, apparently, I have to stock up on some more US size 3 needles, but these are knit picks, circulars, and then the cast on called for US size 2 circulars, or knitting needles, which are, trying to think what they are in metric. I don't know. Well, let me see. Hang on. Do they engrave the size? No, Knitpicks does not engrave size numbers on, at least these. They don't. But anyway, US size 2s and US size 3s. and this is living in my Alex Collins bag. This by far is pretty much my favorite bag at the moment. It is awesome. But yeah, that's one thing on the needles. Okay, Maria, if you're watching, you can look again. Sorry about that. And the other thing, and I didn't have a mail segment this week, but I received a really lovely package from Shauna of Adelaide Cottage this week. And Shauna, you made my week. Thank you so much. She sent me some really lovely goodies in a swap package, and I'm not going to show all of it, but she did send me, of course, one of her handmade project bags, which I love this. This is so cool. The colors and everything, there's her logo, and the roses, muted blue, and it's like almost like a charcoal gray. I don't know, I just love the colors in this. It's so beautiful, so well made. And she spoiled me rotten, so thank you so much, Shauna. And okay, here's the card. I have to show you the card because it's really beautiful too. That. And then the other thing that really, you can hear it jingling in here, but she sent me a little tin, and of course I was like, oh, she sent me stitch markers, but then my jaw dropped when I opened it. It is a rhinestone-encrusted Pegasus unicorn. I think I might just have to turn this into a necklace because I can't even right now. But then she also sent me 2 of these little guys. Let's see that little doves. I love these. This could be a necklace too. It's just so pretty. Thank you, Shauna. It was really beautiful. The whole package was just wonderful to get in the mail. But yeah, so anyway, living in my Adelaide Cottage project bag is my new cast on. I cast this on Tuesday. As soon as I finished work, I was like, all right, let's do this because I've been wanting to cast it on for a while. Is my Crystal Bay shawl by Romy Hill. And this is a pattern from New Lace Knitting. Let me see. New Lace Knitting Designs for Wide Open Spaces by Romy Hill. Interweave Press, published by Interweave Press. And I reviewed this a while ago. And let me see if I can find the pattern in here. Yeah, here's a better photograph of it. I don't know why I didn't show this off last week. But yeah, I fell in love with this. Obviously, it's an applied border, but I'm totally cool with that. But I cast it on using, well, I should show you the shawl first. It only makes sense. So I got all the way past, I did the whole body of it. It doesn't look like a lot, but the applied border is rather sizable. And this is my hand-dyed yarn, Voolenvine yarns in my Volca base, and I Am No Bird colorway, which was a part of my Jane Eyre inspired collection. And I think this will be the only surviving colorway from the Jane Eyre collection, only because it's my favorite, and I enjoy dyeing it up way more. I know I created Thornfield, which is kind of like a blue, variegated blue-gray, purple speckles. It's pretty, but not my favorite. But this one, it's my ultimate favorite right now, which I've been dying to knit with, and I just really enjoy dyeing it. So I think this will be the only surviving one from that collection. But who's to say I won't dye up any more Jane Eyre inspired colorways. I really love that story, so I can see coming up with some more colorways for that. But anyway, I started the applied border, so you can see there. I didn't make too much progress on it, but you know, I think today I will knit on it a little bit more. I have to say, like, I really enjoy knitting lace, but it's definitely one of those patterns where it's not really an intuitive knit. I mean, the edge stitches are very intuitive, but the middle stitches, they're kind of their own entities, so I can't really just look at the pattern and say, oh, I have to do this for this row, and then forget about the pattern until the next, the second row. You know, it's kind of like I have to constantly focus on the pattern at hand. Which is fine if I have the time to, actually sit and devote, and, I need quiet to do that. Or, like a podcast or an audiobook, an audio podcast or an audiobook to listen to while I work on that. Because yeah, when I do something like this, I need no distractions whatsoever. But yeah, otherwise I'm very excited to work on it, knit with it. And yeah, just, I love the way the colorway is knitting up. So Yay! So I probably should have had a mail segment at the beginning of the episode because I do have other mail to show you. So I did receive a lovely package from With Pointed Sticks. Here's her card. And if you watch the TV Knitting podcast with Sharon, she received the same package from With Pointed Sticks in the mail as well. But of course, as you know, if you've been following the podcast, every summer Dennis and I go up to Cape Cod. We have a house up there, or Dennis's parents have a house up there that we, go to every summer. And so yeah, we've been going there for years. And Susan from With Pointed Sticks had mentioned that she lives in Massachusetts and is very familiar with Cape Cod and actually created a Cape Cod inspired collection of yarn and wanted to know if she could send me some of her mini skeins. And of course I was like, yes, please send me some. I would love some. Thank you. So Susan generously sent me some minis of her Cape Cod inspired yarn. And you guys, this is super pretty. Let's see this. Yeah. So we've got, let me see. This is the mini set Calligraphy Fingering, which is 50% superwash merino and 50% silk. Fancy. And one colorway is called P-Town, as in Provincetown. You know, when you go to, if you look at the map at Cape Cod, it looks like an arm, and then right up here at the tippy tip point is Provincetown, which is my favorite, one of my favorite parts of Cape Cod because it's a lot of fun. It's, kind of like a street fair. Like the whole thing is a street fair. It's a place to go if you just want to get away from, the quiet beach and you go to party a little bit. So if, you're in the area, you definitely check out P-Town. It's a lot of fun. But I'm guessing this is P-Town. And then this is Mussel Shell. Love mussels. They are so good. And it really does look like a mussel shell. And this is the Lobster Pot, which if you've been to Provincetown, there is a restaurant called the Lobster Pot. And it's, I've never actually eaten there, but I've been wanting to, and I love lobster. But this, yeah, the colors, spot on. The second one is Saltbox Garden. I'm not sure what that is in reference to, but I'm probably, it might be a restaurant. If not, if it is, I have to check it out. But this has to be, the Saltbox Garden has to be my favorite out of all of them. And then there's Sea Glass, which is really, really pretty. You can see that. But not only did she send me mini skeins, she sent another one for you guys. So I am going to use these as part of the giveaway prizes for the Lace Along, which ends on June 1st. So thank you so much, Susan, for sending these along. But yeah, these will be a giveaway prize, and yeah, super generous, Susan. Thank you again. Thank you. And I bet my mother-in-law would really appreciate these too, because yeah, she loves Cape Cod. Carol, can I have your name on it? So anyway, that was really fun to get in the mail, and I think that is it. Obviously, no spinning this week. This is so sad. I really want to carve out, maybe I will do this week because I am on a Makecation. I should carve out some time to spin because it is so sad. I don't think I have spun in maybe like over a month, and I really do miss it. And anyway, I will carve out some time this week to spin a little bit and yeah, tackle that a little bit because it's my, I don't know if you can see it, my my lendrum, my sad little lendrum in the corner. He's like, spin with me, play with me. Anyway, yeah, so, and then, oh, the other thing that I wanted to address is my Hackle. I know I was talking about my Hackle, going crazy about my Hackle, like, I was waiting for it, it was like, it took forever for it to get here, and then when it finally came, I was hackling away, having so much fun, and now I just don't talk about it anymore. It's actually up on my yarn fortress. It's in a safe place where the cat can't get to it. It is quite dangerous. I should get it down. Let me get it down. Okay, so for those of you who are not familiar with a Hackle, it is a fiber prep device. It's kind of like a blending board, except it looks like this. And this is to protect, this is to keep your hands and children and pets safe when you're not using your Hackle. So this comes off, it's just a cardboard sleeve. And it's just like a dowel with vertical stripes poking out, and they're quite sharp. And yeah, the way you use it, you use fiber and you just thrust the fiber onto it. Like you create different layers with different colors. You can use stellina, you can use silk or, noil or sari silk to add some texture to it. And then you take a diz, which is a disc with a hole in it, and you pull it off, you go all the way across, you work your way all the way across, pulling the fiber off, and it creates essentially like a fiber nest or a mini batling or a braid, whatever you want. And it's really fun, and now that I'm looking at it, I'm kind of like, why did I ever stop doing this? It actually takes a lot more time to dye fiber than it does yarn. And while it is fun, it's just, I will say, if I'm being totally honest, I prefer dyeing yarn over fiber. It's just my thing, and if I am dyeing fiber, I pretty much do it for myself. I do want to give it another go, but it's like I kind of have to choose my battles. Not battles, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I have so many hobbies already. It's kind of like, you know, yes, I have spinning, yes, I have knitting, yes, I have sewing. Sewing is a big one now, so, you know, finding time to actually hackle, if I'm not entirely passionate about hackling, I don't know. I may de-stash it, only because it's been sitting on my shelf for quite a while, and I don't know. I haven't decided yet, so if any of you, I know a lot of you were wondering about it, that's where I am with this right now. I may just give it another go when I get back, just to see where it goes, but right now I'm feeling kind of meh about it, you know? It's not something it's not something that makes my heart sing, as Gigi from the Knitmore Girls would say. But anyway, yeah, this is probably the last time I will ever listen to my dreams. Because if you recall, I purchased a hackle because I had this dream that I was hackling. Or no, I had a blending board dream that I was just blending away on a blending board using a diz, and it was just so fun and relaxing. And this was the entire dream, which is crazy. But I woke up and I was just like, I need a blending board. I need a blending board. So researching for the blending board led to researching about hackles, and realized, well, I kind of like the way the hackle works better. So, and it's true, I love the way this works. This is a lot of fun. But yeah, it's not something I want to do all the time. I haven't decided. Yeah, I'm still on the fence, and yeah, that's where I am with this. So anyway, just to answer some of your questions and queries about my hackle. So I'll just put that over there for now. And it comes with clamps, so it clamps down on the table. So yeah, it's another thing that I have to pull out and clamp down and, you know, put away. And I like crafts that I can just leave out. So if I feel like using them, I can just use them, which is why I have my serger and my sewing machine out. You know, it's there. It's in my face. I'm like, oh, I feel like sewing today. Let's do some sewing. I don't have to pull it out and, you know, because if it's out of sight, it's out of mind, and that's no way to be. You know, if you're like, that's the way to get, I have to say, like, if you want to get things done, don't put stuff away. Leave it out, make sure it's staring you in the face, and, you know, you'll want to work on it. Because, you know, if it's in your closet, you're never going to see it. But anyway, that's enough blabbing for now. I feel like I just went off on a whole different tangent there. But yeah, on to sewing, because I have a new outfit, you guys. So one day I was browsing Vogue Patterns, like you do, and I realized that they were having a sale. If you're familiar with Vogue Patterns, you probably know that they their patterns can go from anywhere between like $12 to $18 US, which is a little pricey in my opinion. But I happened to be browsing the day that they were having a sale. So all of their patterns were $5.99. And I was like, yes, I'm totally going to get these vintage patterns that I had been lusting over for a while. So I bought 3 patterns, and this is V8811. And it's just a very simple, just a simple dress, a frock, you know. Of course, if I made this, it would be just a little bit higher. But yeah, I love the simplicity of it. And, you know, it just seems like a very versatile, relaxed day dress that I could make for myself. I'm not sure what fabric I would use for it, but yeah, so I got that one. And then this is the one that I talked about last week for my Netflix and Sew that I excerpted from Katie of Inside Number 23, her segment on, you know, copying or replicating dresses or outfits from movies that we like. And I will be totally honest, I'm not really into wearing button-downs. I don't know what it is, but I never feel myself in them, maybe because I went to an all-girls Catholic school and they made us wear uniforms, and we had to live in button-downs, which I hated. But anyway, But something about, I like the dress that Keira Knightley wore in the movie Begin Again with Mark Ruffalo. She wore this really pretty red plaid dress, which was a shirt dress, and this pretty much fit it to a T. It wasn't, the one pattern that I showed you that I was going to make for it had a a gathered skirt, which did not look like the dress at all. But I think this one matches it to a T, I believe. So I would be making this version of it. Yeah. UB. So very, very excited about that. And then I'm wearing what I just made. On Tuesday, I started to sew a new pattern, and I totally lost the envelope for this dress, but I will insert a photo of it here. So, but yeah, I actually made a muslin, and I altered the pattern according to my measurements, and yeah, this is the first time I actually made a legitimate muslin out of muslin fabric and everything. And you guys, I'm so glad I did. While I wasn't off by too much, there were a couple of adjustments that I had to make. So here's the muslin. This is the front. Oops. There you go. And I did a pretty slapdash job of stitching it together because, again, it's a muslin. This is not the finished product, but I did it enough where it was like, it would fit me or look as though, you know, it would fit me, it would fit enough for me to know, all right, where I had to make the adjustments. So if you can, and the cool thing about muslins is you can mark them up and, you know, just like write notes on them to let yourself know where you need to make the adjustments. Because if you can see here, so basically you call the point where the bust dart ends the apex, and the apex is not supposed to land smack dot in the middle of where the target is, if you know what I'm saying, without being too detailed there. So it's actually supposed to be maybe like a half an inch to an inch below that point. So I was able to mark it, if you can see right there, with just a little highlighter, where I wanted it to actually end. So I could alter it in the final pattern cutout, or the pattern piece. And then here's the back, which has more darts. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, they're just longer, skinnier darts. And then the other thing, I marked it up. So I tried it on, and that was one of the issues that I had to adjust. The finished garment measurement was supposed to be a 26.5, but I don't like all that extra ease in there. I like it to be pretty well fitted. I have a 26-inch waist. So I subtracted all the necessary measurements from the seams. So basically you take the number that you want to adjust and divide it by 4 and apply that to all the seams, since there are usually, most of the time, always 4 seams. But then that was just a little too tight, so I had to let it out a little bit. And I marked that up on here. So I wrote where I wanted to make all those adjustments. So yeah, really cool. So that helped. And I had to lengthen the torso a little bit because, as I mentioned, I have a long torso, and I'm longer in the torso and shorter in the leg department. So I lengthened the bodice by about half an inch. And it worked out. So here I had to retrace and true up all of the pattern pieces. So here's my new pattern piece. And the cool thing about this pattern is, with the V-line, it has a built-in facing. So when you cut this out, it just folds in, and you have a built-in facing. And you just, tack it down, sew it, clean it up, and it's brilliant. So here's your neckline. But yeah, let me show you the finished object. And this is double gauze. I posted about it on Instagram, but I could not be more, well, there are a couple of issues with it, but as far as fit is concerned, I could not be more happy with the way it turned out. Yeah, it fits like a glove. The only weird thing about it, I don't know if you can see here, but it has a seam down the middle, and the pattern calls for you can use stripes or diagonals. For some reason, this did not turn out as symmetrical as I would have liked it to, so there are a couple of like little weird bits going down the middle seam, the center seam, and I've been trying to toy with a couple of ideas of what I could do to kind of like mask that a little bit, even though it's not, I don't think it's a big deal. I don't it doesn't bother me so much, but if I can do something to it, let me know what you think. I thought about putting some buttons, like maybe 2 or 3 buttons, or like 3 buttons going down just for decoration. Dennis had actually suggested that I, tack down or sew like a strip of vertical fabric down the center, which I think is a good idea, but it makes it a little too bulky. I don't know. But yeah, that's my only issue with the front part. And then the other weird thing that happened was, like, it has a side zipper. So this, I think I nailed. It, like, my sides end up, but then it comes down in like a V, which was not intentional, but at least they match up. It doesn't bother me again. But yeah, and here's the back in case you want to see. Okay, so, but otherwise, very happy with the way it turned out. I want to make 20 more. Very easy to put together and could not recommend it more. It is, let me see, what was this pattern? What are my show notes? It was Vogue V8789. And again, awesome pattern. Highly recommend it. And yay for muslin making. I will definitely be making muslins more often. Definitely comes in handy. And trying to think what else. But yeah, double gauze, you guys. I love, love, love sewing with double gauze. It's so comfortable. It conforms to your body so well. It breathes, and yeah, I actually wore this out last night. Dennis and I went to dinner, and it's a great date night dress. It gets my thumbs up. Anyway, so there's that. Very excited about that. And then the other thing that's happening is the What's a Sloper, which it's a sew along where Gigi from the Knitmore Girls, a really lovely podcast, which you should totally check out. One of the co-hosts, Gigi, we are doing a slope along where we're going to sew slopers. So if you're not familiar, it's basically just a glove for your body. It's pretty much like you take your measurements and then create a custom pattern that conforms to your body. It fits you like a glove. It's like a body glove, basically. And you use a sloper to design patterns that fit you like a glove and, alter commercial patterns so they fit you better. Just a really important step in sewing or like a dressmaking process, So we're doing that. I still have to enlist Dennis or a friend to take my measurements. I was hoping to get together with my friend this week, but she obviously can only get together on the weekends, and I'm not going to be here this weekend. So when we get back, I'm either going to have her or Dennis measure me and then get the sloper ball rolling. So, because yeah, I really want to make it happen. And yeah, I've been taking a class on Craftsy, which has been, really fun to follow along with. But yeah, if you would like to sew a sloper as well, definitely join in. There is a Ravelry group a thread in the Ravelry group for it. And we're using hashtag What's a Sloper. So check it out. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about, oh yeah, the YarnGasm Sew Along Season 1. That is underway, and you guys, again, check out the group for that, because if you are looking for inspiration to get sewing, you need not look further, because that thread is just full of ideas and inspiration. Even I am browsing that thread and finding new patterns that I want to sew, and the fabric choices that you guys are coming up with are just amazing. So keep it going, keep at it, and you guys are awesome. So I'm having a lot of fun with it. I hope you're having a lot of fun with it. Seems like it. And yeah, so other than that, I am going to try and knock out another dress before we leave on Friday. I think I have it in me. I can do it. I don't want it to be a rush job or anything, but I think I might be able to make something happen. Maybe a skirt or something, but we'll see. I definitely want to get a lot more knitting done. But yeah, so otherwise, I'm going to move along to, wait, there's something I wanted to mention. Oh, I wanted to thank everybody, because last week I mentioned that I had gone to Joann Fabrics. Again, city girl, there are no Joann Fabrics here in New York City. For whatever reason, I have no idea why, there should be. But I had gone to Joann Fabrics, and in response to when I said that, I was like flipping through all the whole ginormous filing cabinet. A lot of you got in touch with me and said, check the catalog on the table. They have a catalog that you can just look at patterns and find the numbers, and I did not know this. So thank you guys for letting me know. Next time I go to Joann's, I will be very well informed. I will check the catalog. This way I'm not frantically looking through the whole entire filing cabinet. So good tip, awesome. I will know next time. But yes, okay, we're gonna move along to Ask Away, which is a thread where you can ask me pretty much anything you want regarding the podcast, knitting, spinning, dyeing, sewing, what have you, and I will answer it on the podcast or right there in the thread, depending on how time sensitive it is. So, but we have 2 questions that I will pull from there, and they are, let me see. The first one is from Callie Slow Knitter on Raveler. She wants to know, hi Kristen, I have a question. In your podcasts, on the wall behind you, there is a collection of pictures that I've been wondering about. Is the picture of the various butterflies a print or a cross-stitch pattern that has been stitched? I can't tell on screen. It's beautiful, and I find myself wondering each time I watch your podcast. Thanks for a response to my question. Okay, she's talking about this photo right here, and if it was a cross-stitch, that would be amazing. I would love to have a cross-stitch of that, but no, sadly, it is a print that I purchased on urbanoutfitters.com, or, you know, I think they sell it in the store too, but a long time ago I bought that for one of Dennis and I, one of our older apartments. I think when we first moved in together, I purchased that, and it's been with us forever, and I love it. I feel like it fits my aesthetic, or, you know, more so mine than his, but it's made its way to my office where we live now. But yeah, it's just a print, it's a poster in some glass, but it would be really cool to like scan that and then put it in, you know, bring it into the computer and then go to one of those websites that pixelates it, or, you know, creates a cross-stitch pattern based on a photo that you scan in. That would be cool. I bet it can be done. I don't know. But yeah, that was really cool. But I hope that answers your question. And if you're wondering, the other things around it are just some, you know, prints that I purchased on Etsy by some artists. I can't think of them off the top of my head. But yeah, they're just some of, if you're curious, just ping me. I'll let you know who they're by. But, you know, just some of my favorite artists on Etsy that I liked. So I bought them and decorated my office with them. So, okay. And the next question is from Cozy Couch. She wants to know, hi, Kristen. Do you stay organized? Wait, how do you stay organized and get so much done? With Ravelry and Pinterest, I'm already online too much. Do you have a set schedule? When you work from home, there are so many distractions. Your kitten is the best distraction. Thank you. And Bella says thank you. I don't know where she is right now. She was here on my lap when I first started podcasting, but then she jumped off. But yeah, I really don't know. I don't know. Again, working from home, you know, yes, there are a lot of distractions, but I find I am able to get a lot of work done when I'm home. Like, I'm self-motivated. I enjoy my work, so it's not, you know, I find that I have to tell myself to take a break, put this down, and, you know, get some creativity in there, and just, you know, knit a little bit, sew a little bit. And I just like to take, you know, if I'm having like if I find like I'm in a slog or something, or just not inspired, if it's one of those days, I will just say, you know what, let's put this aside, let's, you know, get some rows into this project, or let's get, you know, put some stitches into this fabric or whatever, you know, just go at it for a little bit. And then, you know, after a certain, you know, maybe like after an hour or two, I'll just be like, all right, I got to put this down now. Let's get back to work. So sorry guys, I had to pause there for a moment because they were drilling outside of our house, which I'll talk about more in Blather. But anyway, where was I? Yeah, so I really have no idea where I find the time, other than I take designated breaks, you know? And yeah, the thing is, working from home, I just don't know when to stop sometimes when it comes to work, and I basically just have to tell myself, no, we're gonna take a little break now. Because yeah, I remember when I was working in an office, I would have that, you know, commute, which would be 2 hours out of my day. So now I have those 2 hours back, and I just end up working longer and, you know, I guess taking more breaks. So I think that's how it all, you know, really works out. But, you know, and I don't leave the house. So, and the house is always messy. So yeah, no cleaning, no leaving the house, working more, and that's, you know, pretty much how I get it done. But, yeah, otherwise I don't know how else to explain it. But yeah, otherwise, and my camera's giving me the low battery thing. I think I'm gonna have to get a spare battery for this thing. But otherwise, you know, I hope so far it's going good. It's looking good and sounding good. The audio might not be on my new camera I'm talking about. The audio might not be perfect, but I think the audio, it picks up some really good audio. So we'll see. We'll see when I bring it into my editing program. So yeah, as I mentioned, that's pretty much it for the show. No shop update, except for the next shop update will be on June 10th, which is a Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We get back next week, so yeah, there's not going to be enough time for me to dye yarn and enough yarn to put it in the shop update that Friday when I get back. So I'm just going to drag it out and have hopefully even more yarn than I normally would for the shop update on June 10th. So I hope you guys can make it. And thank you again to everybody who showed up for my last update. Yeah, so that went over really well, and thank you. I hope you should be getting your yarn soon. That all went out on, I think, Monday or Tuesday. So yay, awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna move along to Blather, where I talk about what's going on in my life. And as I mentioned, yeah, they've been doing a lot of construction in our neighborhood. In the back, the house behind ours, they are tearing down 2 houses. And so that's been quite noisy. And then yesterday they decided to tear up the street in front of ours. Okay, first of all, they just paved the street in front of our house. The whole entire street, newly paved and everything. And then just yesterday, the plumbing, I don't know, the DEP showed up and they decided to like drill some holes and everything, and you know, we go outside and we ask them what's going on. Apparently there's a water blockage and one of the houses isn't getting enough water or something, I don't know. So they have to find where the blockage is. So all that work that they did to repair the street, they're tearing up right now, and it's making a lot of noise. So it's noisy in front of our house, it's noisy in the back of our house. And then yesterday, which was my first legitimate Makecation day, we actually had guys come in and install a split system unit for an air conditioner, because if you remember last year, I dye yarn in my kitchen, and we don't have an air conditioner in our kitchen because the only window that opens is right over the stove. So, and I dye with the stove, so it wouldn't make sense to put an air conditioner right there, and it's the only window that opens up. So we decided, you know, it would really behoove us to install a split system in the kitchen, and especially because we you know, need the air in our living room as well. So anyway, long story short, we had the system installed in the kitchen and then in our bedroom. So that was another, you know, I was pretty much in my office the whole day, you know, watching the guys work and everything like that, making sure they were doing a good job and everything. But yeah, it was a rather noisy day. So, but needless to say, I got a lot of crafting done. Very happy about that. I could use a nice walk out. So I think after I'm done recording this and this is uploading, I'm going to take a nice little walk to Walgreens or something, stock up on stuff for vacation. I'm definitely investing in some SPF 100, 110 if they have it, because while I love the sun, I do not like getting tan, as I mentioned a lot, I think. But if I come back from Barbados and I do not have a tan, my job will be done. So I will be happy. But because even if I do tan, normally my tans don't come out even because I'm very pale. So I remember last year when Dennis and I went to Cape Cod, for some reason I missed my feet. So for the whole year I had like a tan on my feet, but then it looked like I had white pants on because I just missed that spot. Anyway, the tan has finally faded recently, thankfully, and I will not be repeating that mistake. But otherwise, I'm trying to think what else. Diet Coke, quitting Diet Coke. Thank you to everybody who's been rooting me on, cheering me on, saying that I can quit Diet Coke. I am pleased to announce that it's officially been about 2 weeks since I stopped drinking diet soda. I've since switched over to seltzer, flavored seltzers, all the flavored seltzers pretty much. And I like, my favorite one that I really need to stock up on is Polar. I don't know if you've heard of it, but they have some really good flavors, and it's not artificially sweetened or anything. They're just naturally flavored seltzers or sparkling waters. I like their Granny Smith apple one, and then their grapefruit, ruby red grapefruit is really good. So I've been drinking that, and yeah, and I have to say, I feel better. I feel great. I feel energized naturally. So very, very excited about that. Although, you know, I do miss it from time to time. There are those days when I'm just like, I could really use a Diet Coke right now. Could use that caffeine, you know, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm staying strong. So yay, kicking the habit, guys. But otherwise, I'm trying to think. Yeah, so I'm still not packed for vacation. Go figure. But I'm probably gonna do that tomorrow, last minute. And yeah, and there's that drill starting up again. So I think I'll take that as my cue to tell you happy knitting, and I will see you next time. Bye.